With the coming of summer vacation, the end of the school year time, and the stories that come about at the end of schools, there are always these quirky stories that come up around schools. And while there were two stories from yesterday that were really out there that got your attention, one was a man at a graduation who was chased by cops as he grabbed his baby and just ran across the stage with a baby dressed for graduation. Had a bit of laughs, had a bit of silliness into it, and just sort of a why are we doing this story. We went with one that was a bit more disturbing for reasons that we'll get to as we'll go into the story. This is a story out of Ohio, where a Venezuelan man who allegedly posed as a teenager for a year in Ohio high school was essentially arrested a few days ago. Anthony Emmanuel Labrador Sierra is a 24-year-old Venezuelan national. He was arrested in Perrysburg, Ohio, for posing as a 16-year-old student in Perrysburg High School for the past year. He enrolled in January 2024 using forged documents, including a Venezuelan birth certificate and false birth date. He claimed to be a homeless immigrant and a victim of human trafficking, and so he was brought in, obtained a driver's license in Ohio, a social security number to work there, and temporary protected status for his time while he was in school so they could basically figure out what to do with him. But the deception actually came to light when the guardian of him, people that were watching the family that basically was his guardians, were contacted by a woman who told the truth. Labrador Sierra was a 24-year-old. He was a father of her child, and he was obviously not a teenager. She provided evidence, his actual driver's license, some photographs of him in the family situation there. And following the revelation, he was arrested. School officials and law enforcement actually had an investigation and was brought in arrested on the 19th of May of this year at a traffic stop on I-75 and then brought in on charges of felony forgery. Labrador Sierra is currently being held at the Wood County Jail on $50,000 bond. He has been fitted with an ankle monitor so he can be followed and restricted from being within 2 miles of the high school. Essentially can't get back inside the school. ICE is also looking at what to do with him as well because his actual visa expired in 2020. Here's where things are kind of even bonkers. States or senator, the real senator, a big federal senator of Ohio, Bernie Moreno, wants federal investigations of how he actually got a chance to do this, what went through, how he slipped through the cracks to get this enrollment as a 16-year-old when he's actually 24, getting the false identity in the school. And they also have to do protocols on making sure that the kids were okay. His activities in school. Did he participate in sports? Did he hang out at other clubs? Did he have any inappropriate interactions with any other students while he was there at the time? Court date scheduled for May 29th, so next week we'll have more details on this. We'll be looking for if there are additional stories on this one, traditional, and we will definitely put them out for you to engage in and to go into because this was one that scratches my head. While of course, the first initial thought for this story was a silly stop process, and it was essentially the plot for Hiding Out, the 1987 movie with John Cryer, where he was sort of in between where his role should have been, and he was too old to be playing teenagers, but he played one more movie where he played a guy who was hiding out in a school because he had to hide someplace, posing as a high school student, did not get caught by the mob essentially. This is what thought process came out, but in light of our certain situations, like what we have going right now, immigrations are issues. The actual dangers that this could have posed going forward are there. This is not a laughing situation, and this is not a case where we need Chrissy Nome on TV sort of yelling and screaming at us, or Pam Bondi as well. But this is a situation that is very serious. How this person was able to get past the protocols, one issue. How this person was able to interact with students who were 10 years his junior and just be around them all day, an issue. How the parents, the teacher, the people who sponsored him did not see anything going forward, it's there. This is not a movie where a person with dwarfism is pretending to be a child because it's a horror film. This is reality. This is something that actually happened, and we will have to deal with consequences. We collectively, the News Nerd Nation, who will basically have to understand how these things happen, and specifically school districts, and this one in Ohio, who has to deal with how it actually did happen.